かり銀世界
Hello guys, welcome back to my reaction channel. Today we're going to react into Goat Piece episode 374. Now guys, the last episode, Moria is gonna be a problem. This is insane. My man absorbed 1,000 souls. We saw what Luffy was capable of doing with 100 souls. This mother ever devoured 1,000 souls. They almost made it seem like this was gonna be an easy W, but I did not fall for it. I was fully expecting Moria to switch up at some point because he wasn't serious at all until this point. And now he turned as big as Oz, bruh. Nah, he broken. He's strong. But he definitely has some trauma from the new world, trying to make his crew zombies so they can't die again. That's trauma right there. But that being said, I ain't gonna applaud this that much. If you enjoy my reactions, feel free to share, subscribe, like, leave a comment, join the Patreon, support your boy, Discord, all that. Let's go, man. The bodies vanish. Yeah, and we only have like a few minutes left to beat this thing. And to make it submit and give back the shadows.
なんだよ、ありゃ。
戻った。
終わりだ。
もうほぼ夜は明けてんだぞ。時間がねえ。影を100体入れた麦わらがオーズをものともしなかったんだぞ。
Exactly.
その10倍って一体どれほどのパワーがあの体に。
そうね。
よほ。
Now this is a problem. And he ain't waiting anymore. He's gonna attack. Enough is enough.
バカが早く影に入れ。朝日が漏れてる。影を通って森へ。建物の影を出るな。
Hey.
あいつら。
微動だにしないわ。
嘘。
影取られてるのに。
まさかまだ勝つ気で。
あんたたちは命を大事にね。
She's gonna die.
ローラ船長。そこ光が漏れてる。早くこっちの影に。
いいんだよ。
What do you mean?
人の肩に希望をかけるってのはこういうことさ。
怒りと愚かなプライドで自分を測り損ねたようね。
おいみんな、もう時間がねえ。ちょっと無茶するからよ。
Yeah.
その後のことは頼む。
よーし任せろ。ぶっ飛ばせ。もう俺たちが勝ってる。
What? What do you mean?
ただしあとは朝日が差すまでの時間との勝負。
Yeah.
モリアはその短い時間をイカれたパワーでやり過ごす腹だ。
Oh, he's going gear second. I mean, they do have a point. Moria did say if you could withstand 100 shadows, then I can do 1,000. He's kind of overestimating himself. He made it seem like he never did this before, right? So maybe they're right. Maybe he is overexerting his body. How long can he keep this up? Because Luffy could only sustain it for 10 minutes. He felt that. He punched the shadows out of him. Not good. Yo.
てめえみたいな若造がこの海ででけえ面するとどうなるか。
Hey, yo.
周回に旅つくとどうなるか。
Nah. He's rubber. That's not doing anything to him. He's rubber.
嘘に生きよ世の中ってのは。
Yeah, bust out of there. He's still in gear second.
若造だろうが 出る杭だろうが、俺は誰にも潰されねえ。
Yo,
潰されねえ。
I love that attitude. He made him look like a fool. I love it.
すぐに全部吐き出させてやる。
なんだあいつは。不死身か。すげえ。
He's combining gears.
おい、その技重ねているがいいわけないだろう。お前セカンドだけでこの前どんな目にあったか覚えてねえのか。
Yeah. He couldn't move. Like after the Lucci fight.
あとは俺が担いでやるから。
本当に無茶だ、ルフィ。体がぶっ壊れるぞ。
Yo.
ゴムゴムのギガントジェットチェル。私の影。帰ってこい。
Like, isn't Moria supposed to say that? That's what I wanted to say. Like, yeah, Luffy's like kind of punching the shadows out of him, but where are those shadows going? I don't see anybody yet receiving their shadow. So without Moria saying "return to your master," right? The shadows are just floating out there. Like, that doesn't mean shit. Like, yeah, Moria is becoming weaker, but at the same time, nobody's getting their shadows back without Moria actually specifically giving the order. Not good.
聞こえないの？私の影。生まれた時からずっと一緒だったじゃないの。来い、帰ってきて。
Plus, didn't they say if the real people that these shadows belong to died, the shadows are gonna be rendered useless? They're gonna disappear because they can't go with one another. That's why Moria never killed the people that he stole the shadows from. He returned them to the ship, right? So how come he's letting them just die out now? Because if they all die by the sunlight, he's gonna lose all his powers. So
もう壁の陰に入ってくれ。体がなくなっちまう。
だって悔しいじゃない。そこにいるのに。
確かに今モリアの中に俺たちの影全員いるはずだ。
yo, somebody punch Moria. He's barely keeping those shadows inside. Zoro, slash him. Somebody punch him
俺
again.
も影にも一言あるぞ。ついてこい。
Cause I'm gonna be the Pirate King! Hell yeah! He broke the mast from Thriller Bark, from the ship. It's collapsing. Ain't no way. And those shadows are gonna return just like that. Nah, I'm calling it. Crocodile was more powerful than Moria. Like, Moria just lost. He didn't do shit. Like, rah. Why is Zoro just standing there? Yeah, looks like the shadows aren't returning because, like they said, Moria needs to give the order. Now, what the hell is actually happening, man? I'm telling you, Moria needs to give the order. He didn't give the order, so this is not gonna end as easy as they think. But we're not gonna get vaporized by the sun. Like, what is the show trying to convey? There's no way. Like, and Zoro just standing there like this, even though his face is peeling off. Like, what? Nah, that's crazy. Luffy already reduced to a baby again. But if Moria, like, loses after this, like, he didn't put up any fight at all. Sure, he has a few tricks with the shadows and all that, but he's not strong at all. I'm sorry. Like, Crocodile at this point is way more impressive than Moria. Because he's a Logia. You can't even punch him, right? This guy, you give him a few head punches and he's done. Like, Moria didn't do shit, man. If he doesn't come back from this and actually does something, like, right? Like, is it just me? My man, I mean, he has an okay ability, but he's not that impressive. I'm not impressed at all. Like, for Shichibukai, he was more talk than action. I'm sorry. But I think my editor has a few words for us. Let's hear what he has to say.
It's kind of odd how their shadows are not returning. That's definitely a cause for concern. But anyway, you know what I'm here for. It's about time to wrap up this Enel cover story. Today, I will do the manga covers for volume 49. Here's the cover of the volume. Cool. I am finally caught up now. The cover has Monster Luffy, Nami in the wedding dress, Frankie, Sanji, Usopp, Chopper, and Zoro doing the stupid robot warrior thing, with Robin looking the other way because she thinks it's stupid. That's why we love you, Robin. We also see Brook here. In the back, we see Moria, the real Lola, and last but certainly not least, Kuma. Now, by this cover, you can tell I finally caught up to all the artwork that Oat has done up until this point, so let's get into Volume 49's contents, Chapter 471 to 481. So, Chapter 471's cover is a double-page color spread, actually. We see the crew exploring an undersea ruin. Most of them are riding on colorful manta rays, but there are also plenty of other sea creatures around them, most notable of all, a king whale. You can see that it has a crown on its head. One Piece is featured on the cover of the magazine here. We see the crew just being cool with a wanted notice. Luffy has his typical Thriller Bark outfit. Sanji's suit is red and black instead. That's pretty cool. While Zoro has a very cool open vest on, and Nami's black and white clothes actually resemble that of a stereotypical burglar. So yeah, they're all pretty cool. Chapter 472's cover continues the Enel cover story. Last time we found out that the Karakuri robots, according to this mural, are actually the moon's inhabitants. Well, in Chapter 472's cover, there's an even greater revelation here. First of all, the name of these robot-like creatures with wings are called automata. And second, we see 3 different races of people with wings. Now, from left to right, we see the Birka people, who have their wings pointed down compared to the other 2. In the middle, we have the Shandia people, who are wearing more Native American-esque gear. And then the Skypiea people on the right, with, you know, the 2 antennas on their head, like Konis and the other Skypiea people that we saw. Shandia people are, of course, Wiper's race. Skypiea people are, of course, Konis' race. And the Birka people are the race of Enel and the priests. Remember, in Skypiea, Enel's homeland, Birka, was talked about. I'll show you the clip again as a reminder. Oh yeah, by the way, real quick, the subs say Bilka, but it's Birka with an R, because the name is based off of the real location of Birka in Sweden. Enel, of course, being inspired from Scandinavian mythology, blah, blah, blah. All the, you know, Sky Islands are actually Nordic themed. Even the Skypiea people basically practiced Nordic paganism by praying to different kinds of gods, just like Northern Europe before it became Christianized less than 1,000 years ago. But anyway, here's the clip.
だが今はこの島の人々に速やかに避難してもらうことが先決。ビルカの二の舞にはさせない。
ビルカ
Yeah, because
遥か南東の空、エネルの生まれ育った空島です。6年前、影も形もなく消え去ったと聞いています。
ロックってまさ
that's
か
when he arrived
そう
here.
です。エネルは故郷を滅ぼしてこの国にやってきたのです。ビルカにも屈強の戦士がいたそうだが、エネルの前では意味すらなかった。無敵ゆえ神。確かにそうかもしれない。
So yeah, Birka was a sky island just like Skypiea, and it was home to many strong warriors, and Enel destroyed the island, but that was only 6 years ago. So it turns out that Enel's race, the Birka people, Wiper's race, the Shandia people, and Konis' race, the Skypiea people, are all actually from the moon. All 3 of them were once on the moon, and all 3 of these races lived together in prosperity. And they were the ones who actually created these automata robots, as you can see in the mural of the previous cover on the right side of the panel. However, the moon was dry.
Read this. Their ancestors being so technologically advanced explains why Skypiea has impressive tech not found on the blue sea like the dolls in the waivers. Those were things made by their ancestors, just like these automata robots. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
Right up of all of its resources, with them all living on it for so long, which is why they left the moon, and then they settled on several different sky islands. You know, the Shandia race, the Skypiea race, and the Birka race all settled and named their respective sky islands. You know, Shandia, obviously Skypiea, obviously Birka, right? And they left their creations, the automata people, here on the moon. That's why all of them have a tear under their eyes, as you can see, you know, because they're sadly saying goodbye to each other. Their creations are fueled by electricity, so they can just continue to be on the moon, unlike the 3 races with the wings. It turns out the reason why Enel wanted to go to the moon is because in his now destroyed homeland of Birka, it was a very famous folktale among the people that there was this magical place called Fairy Verth. And it turned out that it was a folktale because that's where their ancestors ancestors came from. So the Birka people seem to have forgotten about their origin, which is why they only knew the moon as a folk tale under the mysterious name of Fairy Verth. The origin of all three races is that they lived together in harmony on the moon, but once they settled on Earth, these three races separated and forgot about their history, which is why all three of them ended up being enemies and fighting in wars, unaware that they all started out as friends and allies. But at least the Skypea and the Shandia people right now are back to being good friends again, like their ancestors were on the moon. This underground moon city itself is actually called Birka 2, by the way, so that Sky Island was named after this ancient city. So these robot-like creatures were made by the ancestors of Enel, Wiper, and the others. So yeah, that was a lot. Just two more chapter covers of this story. Chapter 473's cover, we see Enel leaving the underground city, and he takes a good look at Fairy Verth and his followers who call him his savior. Finally, chapter 474's cover, Enel stands tall and proud, concluding that Fairy Verth is indeed everything that he dreamt of after all, with him basically being like a god to his ancestors' creations, reigning over them through fondness instead of through fear like in Skypea. So that's it for the story. So Enel has a whole army on the moon and found out about his origins. That's pretty cool for him. Really good news for him, right?
Yeah.
Enel is definitely the best One Piece villain at this point, to be honest.
Yeah.
He just is. I think he's still the strongest up until now, if you were to be asking me. And unlike Crocodile or Arlong or the others, Enel is free, having accomplished his goal. You know, every other villain lost, but Enel has the final laugh. Free as can be, right? And finally, I will tell you the thing that I've been withholding for so long. Otis SBS Q&A about Enel's bounty. Here we go. Question: if God Enel were to descend to the Blue Sea, how much would his bounty be? Also, what would happen if he did that? Would he rule the Blue Sea? Asked by Gorozoro. Oda responds, I see. Interesting question. Knowing how tricky he would be to beat, I'd imagine he could reach as much as 500 million belly. Luffy was lucky to be rubber, but like Luffy said, there are all sorts of even crazier guys down on the Blue Sea. Enel would not rule it. There you have it. It would be as high as 500 million. Now, he didn't say that it would be that high specifically. He said that that's the highest it could potentially be. So it could be a little less, maybe like 450 million. But still, that bounty is no joke. But yeah, I really love how Oda referenced the scene where Luffy hyped up the Blue Sea when he fought against Enel. 500 million is the highest bounty that we know of so far. Pretty nuts. Still the best villain in the series so far to me, really. I love Enel. I think he's amazing. But the thing is, man, we haven't actually seen Enel since this cover story. Yeah, currently, there are 1,134 manga chapters and 1,122 episodes, and this cover story is the very last time we saw Enel. Some people are currently speculating that he could return in the main story one day. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, this is it for the Enel cover story. We're back to random chapter covers with animals in chapter 400.
No, I want Enel to return, man. Come on. Imagine him just coming back with a vengeance, with an army behind him and some advanced technology that nobody can rival. Yo, that would be cool. He's cool as hell. So 500 million is still 200 million more than Luffy's bounty, current bounty, right? And we know Enel ain't a joke, man. He ain't a joke. He a Logia. And if it wasn't for Luffy's rubber abilities, anybody else would have trouble beating him, so...
In 75's cover, where Luffy is working as a DJ for a pirate radio station along with a boar, and they're going through a stack of song requests. Chapter 476's cover has Sanji buying fresh cabbages from the hardworking lizards of the salamander farm. Sanji buying stock as always. Chapter 477's cover has my boy Usopp actually flying with a self-made hang glider along with a trio of birds. Chapter 478's cover has Nami decked out for a big cross-country race, and her vehicle of choice is a freaking tortoise. Yeah, she's totally trolling. Chapter 479's cover has Frankie holding a dance class with a bunch of orangutans, and the dance is centered around Frankie's super pose, as to be expected. Chapter 480's cover has Chopper building his own totem pole with the help of some friendly penguins who are atop another bird, atop a fox, atop a polar bear. And chapter 481's cover has Zoro practicing calligraphy, writing down the kanji for the word sword under the watchful eye of his cat sensei. And that is it for volume 49's content. Just one extra chapter cover and I'm finally caught up. I won't show you volume 50's cover, there's a slight spoiler in it. So finally, chapter 482's cover has Robin in a freezing land coming across birds who are jealous over Robin's pristine and warm clothes. This chapter is when this happens. Yep, Moria coughing up all the shadows, which is this episode. I am finally caught up, which means that in the next episode, I will only talk about 1 or 2 chapters per episode, which will take like 1 or 2 minutes max. So this is it for me. See ya.
See ya. Okay, that's cool. We're finally caught up, so he's not gonna take as much from this point on. But regardless, the Enel cover story was cool as hell. I would really want to see him on the screen again one day, so Yeah, that kind of bummed me out, but I mean, his bounty, 500 million, that's no joke, right? But back to Moria, yeah, Enel would whoop his ass. So far, Moria didn't show me at all, nothing. What? Like, I'm kind of disappointed. Like, Moria has a dope shadow ability. I feel like he underestimated us. Like, he didn't really show us that much at all. Like, right? Like, he really didn't. Like, he had a few tricks and that's it. Like, he became big, but with 1,000 shadows, he was weak as hell. Like, Luffy with 100 shadows whooped Oz and Moria. I imagined him with 1,000 shadows would shatter the earth, but no, my man was father. Like, what was that? Nah, Crocodile was stronger, man. Crocodile was more impressive, more cunning, more everything. Moria just, like, he yapped a lot, but he didn't do much. Like, he was more talk, less action, for sure. But let's see. I think the Shadow's not returning because Moria needs to give the command, and I don't see him doing it. So this is what are they gonna do, right? But I guess we're gonna find out next episode. That being said, I really enjoyed this episode. Hope you enjoyed the reaction, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe, love you, enjoy, and bye.